All right, folks, I dialed back a little of the lighting. I'm still having a little issue in this room. I had to move indoors yesterday because it's cold outside, and I have some lights in here. I'm going to dial them back again in the next break. So I'm sorry about that. Best I can do right now. There is the phone number in the social media way you can follow the show. So, all right, last night they opened up the debate, okay, with allowing Joe Biden to say he was proud of his son. He was a proud papa, and he was proud of. He didn't have a problem with what Hunter did. So they gave. Let's see. They opened up with making sure everybody went on the record that Donald Trump needs impeached. All right. So yesterday, give me number one. We know Hunter Biden went on an exclusive ABC interview. And I want to talk about this for a minute because I always like to, in this show, break down what the media is trying to do to cover for Democrats and cover for their corruption. They cover daily for their corruption in America. So this is number one. This is a very corrupt man, and it's in the book right here in front. I don't know if you can see the book. This is a corrupt man. His name's Hunter Biden. If you're new to the show, and if you live under a rock, sorry to say that, and you just got out from under the rock, this guy is Joe Biden's son. 50,000. We'll just go with the $50,000 a month job from Burisma Holdings, a natural gas company in the Ukraine. So after they got done last night, his vice president dad, Joe Biden, after they got done last night, going through the, and let me see if I have one here. It won't take but a second. But after they got done last night going through, do you think Donald Trump should be impeached? Then we went right to, and hang tight, the Ukraine. Now, let me say this. Okay, I want to get into the impeachment in a minute, but I want to stay with Hunter Biden and what they're trying to spin today, okay? Because the impeachment is not what they're trying to spin. They're doing that. But did you notice out of 12 candidates, did you actually have a candidate that specifically looked at the camera and specifically gave the crime, said this is the crime, this is the specific crime, or this is exactly. Now they yell loud enough, obstruction of justice. They yell that the president and Rudy Giuliani and others, Mark Esper and Russ Vought, they say this is obstruction of justice withholding these documents, but they won't hold an impeachment referendum on Donald Trump. They will not do it. But let's just say this. So last night out of 12 candidates, did you hear a one? Just give me one that actually specifically boiled down and said, we need to impeach Donald J. Trump because on this day he did this, and on this day he did this, and it's very clear that's an obstruction of our Constitution. He must be impeached and removed. Not one. Not one. We'll get into that. But Hunter Biden, leave him up there, number 7. I think you still have him there. I don't know if I have something. Let me see what I have. Leave him up there. I thought I had Joe Biden last night getting a question about Hunter, his little boy, but I will let me get that. Let's see here. Okay, number 51. All right. The reason I want to go with this again, I want to put out the narrative ABC, what ABC is going to try to do, because what they did yesterday is they brought Hunter out to look like he has done nothing any different than any other famous billionaire or elected official's son or daughter. Hunter's just like the rest. You could trust Joe Biden, and you need to get rid of this because, see, even if Joe is not the candidate, you do realize this cannot linger for Democrats, period. Okay, this corruption scandal, which it is. Americans, when you see polling data that says 51% of Americans want Donald Trump, the inquiry to go forward on impeachment, 46% want him impeached and removed. No polling. You never turn on a channel and it's got that big graphic that I show you in the morning that says Americans think that Hunter and Joe Biden are corrupt. Where's the question? Where is the Marist Monmouth poll? Where is the Quinnipiac poll? Where are the polls? Now, you can't get mad at the pollster, even though polls are inaccurate, because they take an order, they get paid. So a research group will call CNN, MSNBC, Fox, whoever it may be. They will call a company that does polls and they will say, we want to do a poll on this subject here. Here are the questions we would like to have asked. And here we would like to see the data within this time period. And we'd like the sample to be 2,000. And we'd like the sample to be this many of this and this many of that. And that's what they'll do. It's like an order. I swear to God, you can laugh at me if you want, but these pollsters is like going to the deli and taking an order, okay? What do you want this? How deep do you want to drill into this? How close do you want to come to being accurate? I swear to God, if you were to call right now, how close would you like to be being accurate in your poll, right? So it's like taking that, deli plate for the Christmas party order over there and you're checking things off. So once you do that, you release a Quinnipiac poll, and they just did what was asked of them. So the same goes for Joe Biden and Hunter. Can you text me? Sorry about that. Can you text me or email me anywhere where there's a Monmouth poll or this poll or a USA Today something poll or a CNN poll, Fox poll, which we know was inaccurate last week, that says how many of the American people want to see an investigation into Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, right? Now we know why Adam Schiff will not do a public impeachment inquiry. We know that because if Republicans would get a different set of rules to work by, as they are now, like not involved, and get some subpoenas they can hand out, you may see Hunter. You may see Joe. You may see some that do not want to come before the impeachment inquiry because you get to call your witnesses. They don't want to do that. So there's no polling data on this whatsoever. Okay. Did Biden make a mistake? This is the question. Did Biden make a mistake by letting his son serve on the board of a Ukrainian firm while he was vice president? Did he make a mistake? You see, I know sometimes on the show that I push things to a direction that you don't want to go. The key word in there is mistake. Do you know how many criminals are going to go before the judge and say, I made a mistake? Yeah. I mean, is a defense a mistake? Can you go in to a courtroom and enter your defense as being a mistake? Can you? Maybe you can. Don't know. But the question from CNN is, did Biden make a mistake by letting son serve? by letting son serve on the board of a Ukrainian firm. If president, would Biden change the law and make it to where no family member could serve or do business in any foreign country? Now, the book right here, get the book and read it. So they gave Joe an opportunity and they set it up for today. This is how corrupt they are, because they get it ready for the next day. So ABC, you think it's a coincidence that ABC airs Hunter Biden saying, I made a mistake. Yeah, I probably got the job because my last name is Biden. They're flipping through the resumes. Here's what happened. They were flipping through the resumes. Hunter Biden, wonder if he is.
Did you know that back in my day?
Sorry about that. They say, Hunter Biden, wonder if he's the same Hunter Biden that's related to the Vice President of the United States, Joe. Wonder if. Pull that resume out. Call him. Get some references on him. That's how CNN has set it up. That's how ABC set it up yesterday. A child of the former vice president made a mistake. Now, this morning, I'm hearing, get to the point through here. This morning, okay, we're actually, MSNBC, the attack, what they're trying to do, all right? You got 51 there. Did he make a mistake? Let's go to 52, okay? Now, number 52 is on October 9th, 2006. This is MSNBC this morning. Larry King live on CNN in 2006. Supposedly Donald Trump, well, he is, because I listened to the video, is telling Larry King he likes nepotism. He likes it, okay? Number 53, that's why I'm going with this. You want to see this. Number 53, the Washington Post this morning. The Trump's war for nepotism. So Hunter made a mistake. Son of Joe. Joe's vice president. Hunter gets a $50,000 a year job from Ukrainian gas company. Very corrupt oligarch running the place. I didn't know the guy who was running the place was corrupt. He worked down the hall. I mean, we just saw him every once in a while at the coffee pot. So I didn't know he was corrupt. Really. I mean, the picture they're trying to paint. So anyhow, back in 2009, Ivanka Trump admitted to ABC News that she benefited from nepotism. I believe that, of course, nepotism got me in the door. I'd be silly to say otherwise. So they're trying to turn Joe Biden's son Hunter into nothing more than nepotism. They're trying to turn a phone call from the President of the United States with President Zelensky of Ukraine, who has said that there was no pressure, there was no quid pro quo, okay? There was nothing, but they're trying to turn that phone call into an impeachable offense and remove him. But they're trying to spin Hunter Biden and Joe as little boy. ABC did their job yesterday. CNN did their job last night. And now the media is doing their job this morning, Washington Post. And they're trying to spin it as it was nothing but nepotism. They saw Hunter's name on the application, knew it was Joe. He said, you know, I probably did get the job because of my dad. And we just flew over there. I had a job interview, so we flew over together. And then in China, I had another job interview. So I said, Dad, are you going to China? You think it's silly, but that's exactly the way they're trying to spin it. Now, this morning, Ivanka, I'd be silly to say otherwise. So I'm going to talk about the Trump kids in just a second. Okay, let's go to number 55. Oh, they're all doing it this morning. They got to get rid of this, and this is their way to do it, the corrupt media. And Tulsi Gabbard told you it was all corrupt and set up. Trump in 2006 interview with Larry King, I like nepotism. All right, so we just saw Ivanka. We don't hear much about Tiffany, right? Ivanka, there is Eric and Don Jr., all right? And here's a campaign event, or here is something where at a campaign event where in number 56, Eric, okay. So supposedly yesterday, Eric went on something, was it a campaign event or whatever? It said that Hunter Biden, okay, his corruption over there in Ukraine, my words, but they're highlighting the nepotism side of this, okay? And let me go with one more, and then I want to make my statement on this and get away from it for a little bit. We may come back. Okay, number 50. All right, 50. Roni, is it Roni or Rona? All right. It used to say Romney McDaniel. This is true, it did. But, okay, she sent out a tweet. She's the chair of the GOP. Let me get this straight. Hunter Biden got $50K a month from a Ukrainian energy company despite having zero experience in energy. His justification, what is that? That he was also on the board of Amtrak, more obvious nepotism. If that's not the swamp, I don't know what is. So Roni McDaniel, which is a Romney, they are claiming only has her job because she is a Romney. And because she's a Romney and Trump doesn't like her, she's no longer allowed to use Romney in her name as GOP chairwoman. This is all spinning around all the news cycles this morning. Nepotism. She actually used the word nepotism. Now, let me do this, okay? Destiny, let's take a short break. Don't go there yet. Wait for me to say it. Let's take a break. We have set up Hunter Biden. And let's try to explain this in a minute. So you got McDaniel there, GOP chair. Let's go with number 56. Okay. The Trump children. 55. The Trump children. 53, a statement Ivanka Trump made. Remember, Ivanka Trump said, I'd be silly to say otherwise. It got me through the door. Okay. Got me through the door. And then we have none other than number 52. This is Donald Trump in 2006 saying nepotism. He liked nepotism. And here is Joe Biden, number 51. Did Biden make a mistake by letting his son serve on the board of Ukraine firm while he was vice president? Did he make a mistake? Okay. And then give me number one, where poor little Hunter Biden is explaining to ABC yesterday how he probably in hindsight wasn't a good idea to take $1.5 billion from the Chinese. Probably in hindsight wasn't a good idea to be on any of these boards. Probably in hindsight, I don't think he says this, it wasn't a good idea probably after my brother Bo Bice died of brain cancer to feel that, hey, my wife, I think I'll get rid of her and take Bo's wife. It wasn't a good idea for me to do the cocaine in the military and get kicked out with a dishonorable discharge. And then the next night or somewhere close to that, I went to a basketball game with Barack and my dad, and they said, don't feel down, little Hunter. We can get you a job using our nepotism in the Ukraine, making $50,000 a month. You'll bounce right back. Okay? That's the media spin. But nepotism with the Trump children, the Daniels GOP chairwoman, okay? Let's talk about nepotism when we come back and what the difference is that you need to look at in the media today than did little Hunter, make a mistake. Take us to break. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.